Should you be close or far when you're doing street photography? 3 reasons why you should and 3 reasons why you should not. Hi, it's Peter here, and let's get right into the business. Street photography is my favorite genre of photography. But these things and stuff that I say will apply to any genre. Why this is important. When it comes to street photography, the distance to what you are from your subject can significantly impact the way your image looks. And it's not only about, showing more or showing less. It's about the feeling of the image. It's about storytelling. It's about the impact the image has. What just happened? Something wrong with my lights. Let's fix it. Okay, I don't know. I got Wi-Fi lights in my office. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it went dark. Well, sorry about that. Let's see where I am. Being far or being close is one of those things that you need to make a decision before you click the shutter. And here again, like I already said, the pre-visualizing the idea of an image is the key. Sometimes you just cannot be close. You see something far away and you have to crop the image afterwards. And that's totally okay. You can do that, of course, because the end result is the one that matters. But of course, it's always a good thing. Try to make the image so the way you want to present it. But before we continue, a few words about my one-on-one lessons. If you want to become a better photographer, getting feedback is really important. And I offer you one-on-one lessons where we go through your images and discuss the path you might want to take after the lesson. And maybe we have another lesson later to see how the progress has gone. But getting feedback is really, really crucial. And I'll put a link in the description for you to check out what it costs and what it includes. A question: do you get feedback for your images? Where do you get the feedback? Camera club, other photographers, family, whatever. Please tell us in the comments down below, and how have you found it? But let's get back into the topic of this video. Close or far? I will first give you 3 reasons to be close and then 3 reasons why you might want to be far. Close proximity. Intimacy. Being closer to your subject, you make a stronger connection between you and the subject, which will also be transferred to the viewer. There is a closer connection with the subject. That's a really important thing. If you want to make impact and give that connection, you go really close. You might even want to stick the camera to the person's face. And then details. Close-up shots give more to the story. They are showing you showing the details which are something that we might have missed before. An average walk, we don't see things, but if we go in close, we start seeing different details, and those details can be really interesting photographs. So that's why you should be close. And then isolation. When you're getting closer, you isolate the subject and you don't tell everything. You kind of narrow the story to the point. You will have the subject in center of your image, and there is no room for the viewer's eye to wander around. And this will also improve the imagination of the viewer. You will kind of teach the viewer. The viewer has to use their imagination to build up what's around it, and it might raise some questions. And also, when you're close, an extra thing, you express the emotions a lot better when you are going close, especially if there are people in the photograph. When you're getting close, you can really see the emotions, the expressions of a face. And then 3 things about far proximity. The context. When you go further away, you give more context to the image. If you have a person in the image, you might have some additional things that add up to the story. And that might make the image better if you tell a bit more. I will talk about that a bit later, what I think about this, and if this is something that actually is so. I have an opinion about that, and that's why I shoot the certain way. But that can be your way of making the image, showing more and giving the context to the subject. And then the possibility to candid shots. Candid shots are really interesting because when the person is not aware that you're making the image, they act naturally. There is no posing, there is no, the expressions are more genuine when you're doing candid shots because they are not aware they don't change their behavior or start posing like I already said. But you know what I mean. Candid shots if you're more further away. Okay, of course, candid shot can be done also when you're getting closer, but that requires some practice and being kind of like in a stealth mode, so you will be invisible, which is one thing that I might talk about later, how to be invisible when doing street photography. And then composition. You have a lot more options to make the composition if you go further away. You can have more structure in the image in a way that you have foreground, the middle ground, and the background, and you have depth maybe a bit more compare when you're going close, and then you can use leading lines, you can use symmetry, rule of thirds, golden ratio, all that. So you have more tools to work with if you go a bit further away. And then an extra thing that applies to both of these, it's storytelling, because storytelling is the most important thing in a photograph. If it doesn't tell any stories or erase any emotions, most likely the photograph is pretty boring. And if you're making a set of images, let's say you go to a place where you want to make, let's make a little photo story here, you might think. Then you need both, because you want to show the surroundings and then you want to show some details. So use both in your photo essay types or your photo walks. And a good place to learn this is to watch movies. You see how they have, they have the establishing shot where you show the place where everything is happening, and then you show close-up shots of faces, about expressions, about emotions, and then you maybe show some wider shots again. And playing around with both makes your photo stories and your body of work a lot more interesting and more powerful if you do them both. And which one is better? I wouldn't say that either one of these is better, because it depends on your shooting styles and what you want to tell, what's your storytelling ideas, what is your idea of photograph, and how much you want to guide the viewer to see the same things you see, and how much you want to show the surroundings, or you want to concentrate on the emotions of a person, or you want to do some details in the city, for example, or like I said, any place in the nature. You want to do a landscape, or you want to do a macro shot of something in the foreground. On the ground that's growing. It's the decision that you make, and neither one, as I said, is better. Or what do you think? Which one is better? Which one is your method? You like to go far, or you want to be close? Or maybe you do both. And tell me the reasons why you want to do the thing that you're doing. And then my preferred method. I like to go close. And the reason is that I don't want to show everything to the viewer. I want the viewer to have some imagination and kind of think what's around it, and that, in my opinion, makes the image a lot more interesting. And also expressions and emotions are really good. But lately I've also made some images that are a bit more further away. That is something different that I've done recently, used negative space and minimalism. In a way, I kind of find that a bit calmer image and not rush into the face of a person like I did 20 years ago, which was a style that I had on that time. And then what is your preferred method? I already asked this, but this is something I really want to hear, how you feel about the method being close or being further away. And also tell me your genre and how you apply it in your photography. Commenting that will also make you think, because you start thinking and wondering how you are tackling this thing, going far or being close. And I do have a video about pre-visualizing, which might help you to make those decisions and see what that actually is. But hey, thanks for watching, and bye for now.